Did you know, for example, the average amount of money left by the Tooth Fairy is 88 pence? And that's because she was made bankrupt by Rob Beckett. Yeah, we're going in early. 1 in 5 Brits never carry cash. I'm 100% contactless, and by that I mean lonely. They're quite easy to manipulate, aren't they? Hoovering typically burns around 50 calories, which begs the question, why is your mum so fat? Is it because your house is filthy? Just like your mum. Right, let's get started. Rob's team, who do you think the nation have been talking about?
Greta, Thunberg.
Thunberg, the old Thunberg.
Head of climate change.
Yeah, she's sort of in charge of climate change.
I bet her recycling is absolutely on point. I reckon she rinses out the peanut butter jar. That is a tough job. Howard, who bought Crunchy? Are you mad? You just get the jet wash out for that. Marmite, I don't even eat it now because of it. Someone told me off once drinking out of a plastic bottle because it was single use. And it was like, I was in a rush.
Yeah.
I was like, you know you shouldn't, but I've got a good get-out-of-jail-free card if someone tells you off. If they go, you shouldn't drink out of that single use, what I say is, it's not single use, because when I finish drinking it, I'm going to shove it right up my arse. And I find that really stops the conversation. They don't want to carry it on.
What's that, a small bottle or one of the larger ones?
2-litre Diet Pepsi.
We're talking about Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. I don't know how we got onto the 2-litre Pepsi up your arse, but we went slightly off topic.
Yeah, the thing is, you try and do stuff, but you can't do it. Like now, we have these bottles now, don't we? The reusable bottles. Everyone's got one of these rather than plastic bottles.
I've got so many of those.
Yeah,
I've got hundreds.
Hundreds of them. This one's made in China. I hope they walked it over it.
You know what? I haven't got any kids. I say torch the place.
It's so annoyed politicians. People went off at the deep end.
And a lot of, middle-aged white men, I think, got very angry.
Anyone that looked like Gammon was livid. They knew she was right as well, so they had to just go for her.
I haven't seen men of that calibre that angry since Jeremy Clarkson left Top Gear. You heard the people said, oh, whenever she comes on, I'll turn off the television, which is, of course, exactly what she wants.
Outspoken women have been angering men like this since the beginning of time. Like, she's the human equivalent of leaving the landing light on.
What do you think of Greta? Do you like her?
I do like her, especially the fact that she's, at least 500 years old by now. I love it.
There is a theory she's a time traveller because there's
there's
a still photo of her. Can we have a look at this photo? It does look remarkably like her. Oh. That is something, isn't it? Are you really subscribing to this?
I'm obsessed with this. I watched the show Ancient Aliens religiously, and
When you say religiously, you mean without really thinking about it?
Yeah, I
Look, it's very impressive what she's doing at 16. At
Yeah.
16, what was I? I was wanking and eating rustlers, mainly.
I think it's great that she's like a young hero, but I worry that she's not getting like a normal, childhood, like the normal teen experiences.
But if you remember your teenage years, do you want that to happen to her?
That's the problem for Greta, though. When you've done all this stuff by 16, she's an incredible woman. How's she going to rebel? Where's she going to go and rebel? She'll start off by going, you know what, I'm just going to put the cardboard in the red recycling bin. When in a year, she'll be having a hog roast with Richard Branson. You can tell that's the only place she's got to go, right?
The problem is, I agree with everything she says, but I don't know what it is. Whenever she speaks, I'm like, oh, fuck off a bit, will ya? I'm trying!
OK, Catherine's team. Who do you think people have been talking about over the last 12 months?
Oh, it's gotta be Boris Johnson. He lies and cheats more than a Kardashian's baby's father. More people liked Boris Johnson than the other one. It is a bit like a popularity contest between Prince Andrew and Piers Morgan, but I've decided I'm gonna be right-wing now. Very right-wing.
You would suit being very right.
I look right-wing. I look like the kind of white woman who would call the police on a child's lemonade stand. I do. It's like, go home.
You'd be great on Fox News.
Thank you, and fuck you.
Do you like our new glorious leader?
He's got a lot of kids, isn't he? I mean, even he doesn't know quite how many. He says, I want to keep them anonymous. But that entire family, Boris, his dad, the brother, they all look exactly the same. There is not a single primary school in South London where the teacher's not going, Oh, yeah. I think...
Well, Rich, look no further.
I only found out recently that his full name, it's Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. He's a man with more middle names than morals. He pretends to be bumbling, but he's really sinister. Like when he did the Love Actually thing, where he went to that woman's door and knocked and was like, please vote for me, I'm a good guy. I was like, if Love Actually was like a Tory Love Actually, like a Brexit Love Actually, it'd be terrible. It'd be like that first scene at the airport where everyone's crying, but instead of arrivals, it's departures. Sajid Javid would have this maid that learned English for 8 months and then he'd still deport her.
Boris, he's so posh, he sounds like an old motorbike. But when he talks, like...
Like father, like son.
I bet he's quality on a stag do, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Boris turns up, here we go. Come on, dicks out, pants down, come on, lads. Game on my stag do, which my dad made us do, which was called Flip Cup Dicks Out. Where, you know, have you ever played Flip Cup? Where you get a cup on the edge of the table, and you do that and you have to land it down on the top like that, right? Basically, if your team lost the race, you had to get your dicks out. And then you had to go down the slide in this swimming pool with your dick out.
You're in a swimming pool?
Yeah.
What are you doing at Centre Parks with your dick out?
Playing Flip Cup Dicks Out.
Flip cup.
And then my dad won and he still got his dick out and jumped in the pool.
Oh my God. You saw your dad's penis?
It was cold, so not really.
I cannot believe you've seen Boris Johnson's penis. That is amazing.
Let's have a look and see if he's up there.
Of course he is, dirty bastard.
Yeah.
Yes, Boris Johnson. In with a bullet. Boris gave the Conservatives their biggest ever majority, which was lucky because if there's one thing the Conservatives can't stand, it's minorities. Did you know, for example, 44% of vegans live alone? I'm not surprised. You can only open so many windows. 40% of Brits wouldn't give up their seat for a pregnant woman. I got into trouble when I offered my seat to someone I thought was pregnant. Turned out, just fat. He was livid. And 2% of Brits connect to the internet using a dongle. I almost broke my dongle using the internet. It completely overheated and started leaking. Turns out it was a virus. Right, let's get started. What do you think the nation have been talking about the last week?
Megxit?
Megxit.
Megxit.
What do you
They're
reckon?
calling it Megxit because, we're out of ideas.
Everyone's saying it's her fault. Like, oh, I don't trust Meghan. I don't like the look of her. It's all Meghan. She's manipulative. It's amazing how much men can get away with. Like, Harry, dressed like a Nazi, fought in a war, he's naked in Vegas, taking drugs. All he had to do to wipe the slate clean was marry a black woman and fly economy. And now everyone's like, he's the Duke of Woke. It's very confusing to me because Meghan Markle's done backwards exactly my life. So, I was a waitress who hooked up with a creep from a trash family, and I left Canada because I wasn't getting enough attention. Spencer and Vogue, do you know them personally? Are you friends with them?
No, we don't know them, sadly. I like their job. They're an old one.
Yeah. I think ultimately everyone would be more comfortable with them doing whatever they want if they did it properly, no? If they'd told the Queen and done it normally, it would have probably been all right.
I don't know about you, but I've never run anything I've done in my life past my nana. Literally nothing. The idea that they have to, it must be so difficult to explain to your hot new girlfriend, oh, yeah, we've got to just run that by my nan because... No, I know. I know I'm your man and I love you and you love me, but I just want to get permission from my nan. But she's got to talk to my granddad first, and then we'll see what my dad says. And then I'll get back to you. What?
Well, we had to have a family summit this week because we thought either one of the kids or the cat had shit on the table.
One of the kids or the cat?
Yeah, but...
Oh, so you'd ruled out your partner?
Yeah. We had
progress in your family?
Me and Lou had a frank discussion, it weren't us. And then it worked out, it was just a gone-off bit of avocado.
I can't believe you confused avocado for cat shit.
What are you feeding your
I
kids?
feed my cat mainly Lenore. Very, very nice-smelling poo it has. Can't say that, allegedly. Can't feed it. I don't do that to my cat. Not Lenore, just the own brand stuff, cheaper.
Rob, what do you think of Meghan Markle? Do you like her?
Well, it's not gone smoothly, has it? Let's be honest, I think it'd be easier to leave ISIS than the royal family. I think that jihadi bride looks less stressed than Meghan.
Do you think the jihadi bride's looking at it going, fucking hell, she's having a rough ride? Nadine, what do you think?
What was annoying that she done was she was deliberately moving her coat out of the way so as we could all see the palm.
That is one of my pet hates. I cannot bear it when pregnant people just constantly...
Yes.
It's like, it's not going to fall out.
It would be more eerie if her hands were just by her side the whole time, like a mannequin, or just like that, like resting her arms.
It's a nice shelf when you've got
with a
one.
pint on there.
Yeah.
So, Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harry and Meghan.
There is a naivety in this move. I understand that the press have been hounding them, whatever, and they want to quit the royal family now to sort of escape the press attention by doing the most newsworthy thing they could possibly do in this situation. They seem to think that if they leave the press alone, the press will leave them alone, like they're bears.
They're more scared of you than you are of them.
It's kind of hard to understand how you retire from not having a job. You know what I mean? They've just got back from a 6-week vacation in Canada, and they've landed, and the first thing they've said is, whoa, this is too much work.
They've just gone on holiday. They've had a nice holiday. And we've all done it when you come back, you think, right, I'm going to homeschool the kids and we'll make goat's cheese in the doing then. Just throw it all in.
I think you've nailed it. I think it's that thing where you're on holiday and you're like 2 bottles of Bailey's in, going, do you know what?
I'm not going back.
I'm never going back.
I'm not going back, Harry.
Don't make me go back.
Don't make me go back. I can't stand your nan.
I love the way that on the front covers of all the papers it was like close-ups to all the different royals and saying like, oh, the Queen looks disgruntled. It's just the same face. They're like, oh, she's never had a different face. They said Prince Philip looks upset. He's only ever got one face, dead. That's his face. I've never seen an alive person look more dead. The problem with Prince Harry is if you take the Prince away from him, he's just a ginger squaddy, isn't he? I mean, really, she should have just gone to a nightclub in Aldershot and saved herself some bother.
Spencer, vote. You're in the limelight now in the UK. You've got your own reality TV show. So, if you ever wanted to escape it all, would you move abroad? Would you emigrate?
No, we've just been away for a month and I felt really lazy towards the end.
Where did you go?
St. Boris.
To the sun by looking at him. Fucking hell, mate. That is a tan, isn't it? Well, he's actually topless.
I would describe your tan this evening as borderline racist.
Yeah.
Well, this is my problem with it is people say, oh, you know, Harry and Meghan, you should let them do whatever they want. They should be allowed to do this. People think it doesn't make any difference, but it does make a difference. Because if something terrible happened to William and Kate and the kids, right? The Queen and Charles are very old. They're going to go at some stage. And then you're left with King Andrew. No one wants that.
Is that true? No.
Yeah.
Because you've got a William, then you've got a Kate, then you've got a George, then you've got... There's loads of them between.
They're one light aircraft crash away.
That's the same reason that the 2 founders of Coca-Cola don't fly together, just in case the plane goes down.
Sure.
Recipe. You know what I mean? The people who know the Coca-Cola recipe don't fly together.
You think there's 2 people that know the Coca-Cola recipe?
Yeah, but Vogue's right. Yeah.
There's 2 people going, fucking hell, Bill. We've got to make more. Demand's huge.
What about KFC? Do they fly... Does the Colonel fly separately?
That does my head in as well. What is it, a recipe of 8 spices?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Tell you what it is, mostly fucking salt. Let's get back to Meghan and Harry.
Look, I don't blame her for wanting to leave, yeah? You wouldn't want to hang around with that family, would you? Like, the nan's always down the horses. Yeah. The granddad's a racist. The uncle hangs around with pedos.
What funny am you for?
Sorry.
Fucking hell. I knew I shouldn't have got these.
Sorry, Phil. It's just the glasses.
No offence, Phil, but you look like a pedo and the victim. OK, so, well, should we have a look and see whether Harry and Meghan are the most talked about thing?
Yes.
Yes, Megxit. Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
I hope you enjoyed those clips. If you want to watch full episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats, then you can on my YouTube channel. Just, search for it on YouTube and you'll find it, because it's there.